Hey everyone, Amy here. Welcome to Magnolia's third segment of DIY Weekend. We are here live at the warehouse. We have a whole new lineup of kits that I'll be designing in the next hour and a half. If you want to jump on, say hi and join us. This will be the segment where we do the Frosty white looks. These looks will be the tutorials for the kits when you get them. If you choose to buy something that I demonstrate today and the kit arrives at your house, you can always pull the item back up online and jump into the linked video there to rewatch these segments where I create and design these little arrangements today. We have several different ideas for you in mind. Kate's behind the camera to help us out today.
Hello everyone. I started with a link to our Real Touch cedar. We have a lot of kits to show you yet, and we're going to try to get through them.
The first kit up today will be utilizing our gorgeous Natural Touch cedar teardrop piece. But before I started it, I did want to show you some of the other components in our extremely popular Natural Touch cedar collection. In our cedar line, this is the most realistic cedar you'll find. It drapes and feels natural and beautiful. Every piece is wired. These components are extra full. We carry a 5-foot swag that is gorgeous over a mirror or across a doorway. We carry a 3-foot cedar swag that is perfect for small spaces or tabletop centerpieces. You can lay that flat and design around it in the center of your table. Or we have this stunning swag that is 8 feet long, laid across the mantle, and you can't see the ends, but it is draping down both sides. 8 foot long, thick in the middle, tapering to the sides, and that gorgeous $249 piece today is 25% off, as are all of these. So we've upgraded the discount today. There are a couple other components in the cedar. We have a limited quantity, and I'm talking, last time I checked, there was only 5 of the 9-foot cedar garlands. This is a last call on the cedar garlands, 9 foot in length. They're roping style with the plastic base. And then we do have behind me, hanging on the wall, a cedar wreath that is about 24 inches. I have added a light set to that is battery operated with 8 different settings, and it's timered and safe for outdoor use. So a gorgeous green cedar wreath, and that is the cedar collection in the straight green color today. Lots of beautiful stems and pieces that coordinate with these things. We also will be showing some frosted looks today, so I'm featuring a frosted cedar wreath as well, 24 inches, and we'll be doing some minty frosty colorways, and that is what this gorgeous wreath is made out of. We also have the candle rings falling under our 25% discount today as well. Great deals just upgraded today for you.
Hello, they're hopping back on for part 3 here. Hello,
hi everyone.
Carol, Lynette, Brenda, aloha to Kathy. Oh good, Mary said I'm sounding better. I feel worse, so that's I'm getting stuff here as we go.
Kate's doing her best today to hang in there and help us. Kayla went back to the store.
But at least I don't sound like a old frog.
There we go. Kayla's back at the store helping the team. We're open Saturdays and Sundays now, everyone, if you're local and you want to swing by on Sundays. Also to note, with any purchase today and tomorrow in-store and online, we will be donating a portion of our weekend sales to the local team down the street at Cornhusker Auto, who buys gifts for kids and chooses a group to donate gifts to every year, and they're going to be donating gifts that they purchase with the funds we'll be giving them. Other team members around the city help them out, and this year we have 18 families in the Bright Horizons domestic abuse group that will be receiving some toys. So we'll be helping with your help. Thank you so much. I will let you know on Monday. We'll take them a check. So that's on the docket today. Hey, we're having a good day. This is the last segment of the day. We're on hour number 5, and that allows you to have all the tutorials to design these fun kits that we've been making. You'll be able to rewatch them once the kits are received by you. All the kits are 25% off today, and containers, by the way, are 15% off. So we do have behind me some gorgeous vases. We've been showing floor vases today as well, like this outstanding glass vase with the brass metal gold trim top. These beautiful vases never go on sale, guys. They never go on sale. So today and tomorrow, December 8th, you'll be able to pick them up at 15% off, or yes, that's right, 15% off, These are great giftables. This one can also be a lantern. The light will glow through it. We have that in 2 sizes, a tall one and a short one. We have some very fun modern pieces in black matte finishes, if you love that look. And we have some mirrored mercury glass and stoneware. So vases and vessels of all types. Planters, pots, and vases, 15% off today as part of our DIY weekend event. So all those gorgeous things, we'll just stack them back there and get right to it.
Okay, so this is the Ice Kissed Teardrop Kit. This one's on sale for $50. Really good deal.
Great deal.
It is built on the Real Touch Cedar Teardrop. Gorgeous piece. Use it year after year. It is very realistic. It also uses a snowed Sitka spruce pine. Great indoors or out. A snowed mixed pine spray with cone. 2 white wax flower sprays. And some floral wire.
Optional items that I'll be showing will be some ribbon that will do as a simple shoelace style bow, and you could add the bow of your choice. This is just a suggested item if you feel it needs a bow. You can grab one from an add-on option. So this is the easy, we're going to start out easy today. It comes with wire. I think Kate helped us with that. The wire in your kit is 20 gauge wire. It's my pick for medium weight wire to do the job, all the jobs today. If you want to wrap the wire with floral tape that you would get elsewhere at your local craft shop, I always use a wire that is, I wrap the wire, pinch the tape around the top, and I roll the wire into the tape. This is a tension that is required to get the tape to stick. You have to stretch the tape. And by rolling the wire into the tape, I make this nice tacky covered wire here. We can use brown or green tape. I've just been using brown today. And that gives me a nice finish when I'm creating the hanger for this as well. So we're simply going to layer these stems in and let them be downswept with the teardrop. The Sitka already has that shape. It does a perfect job super easily. And basically you're just going to be wiggling these stems in and trying to integrate them so they don't look stacked. You want them to look blended. So we can lift a couple pieces of the cedar, tuck the Sitka in, and get the stem to lay right along the stem that the teardrop comes with. So we're going to stack some stems up here, and that way when we get to the end of our stack, we can wire with one wire across everything and lock it into place. So that adds just a touch of frostiness. This is going to add a little bit more. Our mixed stem is one of my faves because of the variety of snow-covered pieces in here, so this will definitely brighten it up. It's shorter, so I'm just going to lift it and place it more towards the top of the spray here. And that will give me a nice bright contrast on my door if this is going to be your door piece or against the wall. And we are letting the cedar from the teardrop kind of weave into this pine spray, just like so. So you get it blended a little bit. Helps it not stand out so starkly. There we are. Now our wax flower, I did cut one stem. You can see I have shortened one of them so that we're going to put them in a staggered way here. There we go. This is a 3-part stem, which is perfect because it's easily going to balance. And I want to thread that stem right alongside the teardrop base because the wire will be crossing over top this wax flower. It's a beautiful, airy, icy wax flower spray. So we can get one to lay towards the bottom. And let's fan out number 2 and put it a little higher in the top. And it's going right up here so that the joint of all 3 pieces is tucked right underneath the pine cone, right about there. Can lay that through the cedar a little bit. Blending the cedar helps to make it look a little bit more mixed. So I am kind of lifting that cedar and pulling it through as we go along. Very pretty, and that's pretty much all the components needed to ice up this green piece, give it a little bit of frostiness. All the pieces in this collection today are going to be great for the winter months here in Nebraska. It is not strange at all to leave wintry looks out for a while.
And we're going to show some optional add-on bows with this. These are linked in the kit description as well. We have the Blizzard ribbon bolts. We're going to show you a quick little bow on top with the Blizzard ribbon bolt. And it also would look nice with the vine berry bow or even the birch bow. There's lots of pre-made bows on the website, and we'll show you some of those. But they're not included in the kit price, so you can customize it as you like.
That keeps the cost of the kit low. You might have a ribbon at home that is just waiting to have a great use. Or you can grab a bolt of our ribbon, all 25% off right now. The other thing we have been doing today is lots of just what we call shoelace bows, simple bows that don't require wire, that won't be intimidating, and that's what we're going to do next. So the bow we've been working with in the previous sections were called, this is the birch bow, birch woods? Yeah. Birch woods bow. I'm just making a little hanger back here. I'll give you a quick look at that. It is made out of 2 wires coming together, forming a circle. Nice and tidy, big enough to go over an over-the-door hanger. So this birch bow would be a great addition. I would place it right underneath, well, probably right above that big old pine cone. That would be a great add-on item. The bow is under $10. It has a combination of 2 different types of ribbon in it, one woolly open weave and one birch look ribbon that you would want to tuck those tails in. That would be a very,
loving that.
a very good combo.
Holly said, I like that. This is easy. It really is. You guys can do these at home. The kits that we put together are meant to be simple for you.
We save the hard stuff for our designers. This is the berry vine bow, a little bit more green. Incorporates 3 different kinds of ribbon, equally pretty. Get your opinion here on this one. And that's a pre-made bow, also 25% off. I did. I'm trying to get rid of it here.
What are you?
My throat.
Oh no.
I got a
falling
throat
apart.
drop. There we go.
It's okay. The gals in the comments said that we deserve some wine after this.
Ooh, wine sounds good. We were just talking about the hot tub. Maybe the wine and the hot tub.
Yeah,
which is probably
both,
what you're
actually.
not supposed to do. This is about 2 yards of the Blizzard ribbon, which is kind of a little vine. And what we mean by shoelace bow, I'm just going to pop up 2 pieces of cedar here so that there's a little something sprouting above the bow, and I'm going to lay the middle of my 2 yards of ribbon behind here. Ish. We don't need it to be exactly precise. And we're just going to tie a quickie bow with long tails, guys. This is not tricky at all. And get that in place. And let those wired tails run through our design. Super
I love
easy.
this ribbon. It's so cute. You can layer it too. For the sake of this easy tutorial, we're just using a single ribbon. But we usually like to stack ribbons 2 or even 3 deep for a really full, beautiful look. And what's cool about this Blizzard ribbon is that it is kind of transparent, so you can stack it over something else and still get the effect.
Be light and airy in this design for sure.
Oh, Kim's talking your language. She said you should get a hot toddy.
A hot toddy sounds good.
Mom's favorite thing.
I do like those. There we go. You can see how easy that is with wired ribbon. It just pops open and looks nice and full with lots of body. And that is 2 yards off of a bolt that's probably around $15 to $18 for a total of 10 yards. If that. Everything's on sale, so the prices are great today. And this piece is a phenomenally easy, classy, that would get us into March around here. There we go. When the wind blows and the snow's still falling, it is a little too strange to get out your tulip designs. So we're going to make sure we keep cruising along today because we want to complete all of our designs if we can, and we have a shorter segment in the next hour and a half. Our store closes at 4:30 Central Time, so we are wrapping it up at the close of the day and trying to get everything in. I've made lots of kits today. If we don't get to them, I could pick them back up on Monday, but today we're doing our best. Okay, this is a drop-in today.
Yeah, this is a snow pine drop-in. We'll show you the vase that we recommend with it as well. But we do have a few vase options. The one that we're going to show you today is a little bit more wintry looking. So we will start with this piece. This drop-in kit, you guys, is on sale for $50.
50 seems to be the magic number
$52.
today.
Yeah, we did really
This
good with our
is-
pricing on these kits.
That's
It's
good.
working out well.
We were trying to keep the cost affordable, and that way you can have some fun giveaway gifts also.
Okay, so the Snow Pine Drop-In Kit is built with a glitter lunaria leaf spray, 3 of the brown bottle brush pines, a gorgeous white sequin artemisia bush, frosted long needle pine spray, matches the pine drop, the Winter Joy pine cone spray, 2 of our new frosted cedars, gorgeous, and floral wire.
Okay.
Optional add-on is the Bovellino brown glass vase. Kind of looks like a tree trunk.
It's a cool piece.
Yeah,
It's
also
kind of like
comes
a log.
in green, but we're showing the brown today.
The green and the brown or amber color are both so beautiful, and they kind of transcend seasons. I think you can use them any time of the year. It's definitely a large cylinder, so this is going to be a nice chunky full design. We always have great luck designing our drop-ins right in the vase. One thing about this drop-in is this pine cone's a little tricky to wrestle with, and this is a little snaggy. So these 3 components, I'm going to put them together before I put them in the vase. I think I'll have an easier time. The artemisia is going to come completely flattened, of course, just like this. And I opened it up and shaped it out. So being a wired stem, I worked each of these little fronds down and out into a curved shape. That's going to give us a nice pretty look in the round and blend the white throughout the design. But it is sort of a snaggy little piece, so we're going to wiggle that into the green. Now what I mean by wiggle that in there is snug them up together and have the stems come right up next to each other so that we can get the whole thing to be an incorporated round design. We don't want to leave something lopsided on one side. We want to try to get, as best we can, these items completed in the round. So that way, by putting these together in our hand, we can have more control. We're going to do the same thing with this pine cone. And we're going to snug it up together, hold these stems together. Looks like I need to spin this backwards here, and then work these pine cones around in my hand, which will be a lot easier than doing this in the vase, I think. There we go. So these pine cones are super heavy stem set. You do have to definitely get them in early on because they want to be lopsided otherwise. So here I can shape my pine cones so that they're showing on most of the sides of this design. There we go. You get the idea? We're holding that together. All right, now lunaria is the last single stem component. Then we can drop it in the vase and work the rest around it. So we're going to wiggle that into place. See how we've blended creams and whites with these minty greens. This is a light, pretty look. It's almost like bringing spring green into the winter season. A lot of these colors are then the same combination as this harmony wreath. Is that the symphony wreath or harmony wreath?
What? What is that called?
I don't remember.
They
Splendor.
even abbreviated
Splendor wreath.
Splash of Splendor. They even abbreviated it for you. SOS. Splash of Splendor.
So color-wise, there's several components, including
I can't
a
believe you
wreath,
can't remember that.
a wreath and a candle ring, and she's going to tease me forever because I can't ever remember the name
You
of it.
ask every time.
There we go. Now we've got a good start here, but there's room for a little bit more. And I feel like this is the best component to tie the brown glass wreath into our design. So before we wire it, we'll just wiggle these stems in 3 spots around the circumference here, around the vase drop-in. This is definitely going to fill in any open spots that we have. This is a very full bottle brush pine spray. And also, if there's any single component you want to grab for your project at home, every time you click on a product kit, you're going to find all the components in the kit hyperlinked so you can go right to that individual product and purchase it separately if you wanted to. So this is the brown bottle brush. You can see that balances out. And then in between the bottle brush sprays, we can drop in these 2 pieces that are going to fill right up in here. And this is our new frosted cedar in this fun snow, ice, actually not snow, we're going to call it frost and ice finish. And let's place those in left and right of the top or of the center here, left and right of the center. And once we get these in place, we're going to go back in and wire it. Wire is the last item. I don't generally wire as I go. I usually just wire at the end, which if it's giving you problems, you can wire as you go. So then the trick will be balancing it through shaping and getting your components to fall right where you need them to for the best balance. So we could work on that a little bit more after we get the wire in place. My taped wire is ready to go.
They are loving this one.
You like that combo? It's different, isn't it? And the bottle brush pine itself is just such an unusual color, but it has been a really popular colorway lately. We've only been using it lately. So you'll find other completed designs in the online store. All of our completed winter look items that are ready to go are also 25% off for the weekend sale. Now, the other thing that I always point out about drop-ins is when I lift this out of the vase to place the wire, I don't want the wire to go on the stems right at the top edge of the vase. I want the wire to be a couple inches below. And the reason why is because we have a nicely flared design. If I wire it too high, I will be closing up the flare on this design. So I don't want to get that wire too high and bring the stems together. I want to let them stay loose and draped open. And by crossing this over and giving it one good twist with my pliers, I'm starting to lock it into place, but it could still spin out of this single wire stem. So I go down 1.5 inches and roughly bring around my wire stems again here to do a second wrapped location further down on the bundle.
Renee is wondering if you can show it in the Polonia wood vase as well. So
that is a very popular vase, Renee. I'm sure it's going to look beautiful in the Polonia wood vase. We have two different heights, a 16 and a 20, or 12 and 16. Okay, this must be the 16. So here we have retained the flare. We've got it wired together and it balances really, really well.
Ooh, I agree, Kim. She said we should put lights in the vase. You could put fairy lights inside the vase.
You
could do lighted branches in the design.
We
could
go
do
crazy.
a few different fun things and kind of make it your own.
Ooh, I hope I didn't break that ornament that just fell. So it looks like I have to open another bundle of bendy vine, which is probably a bad thing. I was trying not to open all the bendy vines so you guys can buy it.
It goes in the Polonia vase, though.
No, I don't. I would normally get a bundle of this. If you already own some vine, you know that I always like to cover my wire mechanics with the vine because it cleans up the look, and through the glass we could see that vine winding inside the vase.
I think this is quickly becoming a favorite.
I think
they're saying it's especially beautiful with that vase. The combination is just lovely.
Now, if you have the green vase, which could be on the cart, there is a very pale green vase this color also. So one more time, there it is in the original vase design, resting just perfectly there. And here it is in its companion green. There it is. She found it. The green vase. Your choice. What do you think? Goodness, it's a tough call.
I like the brown vase personally. I think it's just really gorgeous.
And then Renee's asking, how does it look in the Polonia vase? Which we don't want to make those stems
Everything
too
looks
wide.
good in the Polonia vase. What do you mean?
Everything does look good in the Polonia vase.
Nothing looks bad in the Polonia vase.
So there we have 3 options for
and
this
that vase
gorgeous
is the
drop-in.
Bovalino is what we made this kit for.
This vase, okay.
Yep, in brown.
They're
and it's
inexpensive.
15% off today and tomorrow.
15 off. Do you have the final price on those?
That's a really good question, isn't it? I don't in front of me, no.
Okay. You'll have to
It's
jump.
linked
She doesn't
there.
have it. Jump over and see how much that vase came out to. But I know it was not an expensive vase.
No.
And I'm not going to open this right now because I'm afraid we're going to not have enough for everybody. So
Yes,
that
I
is
would
staying in its bunch, a bundle of bendy vine to make it look nice and tidy. All right.
Okay.
There we have the first drop-in of the segment. I know those are one of the easiest designs to make are drop-ins. Incidentally, I'm keeping all this snow off of me with this cute apron. We've been telling you about this apron today, which is around, what did we say, $30 on sale today. 30-something. It is the cutest vase that says fresh cut mistletoe, 25 cents, and kisses are free. Right down here on the bottom.
So cute.
It's a good vintage apron, and when we go to bake cookies for our cookie baking day, I will be wearing this fun apron. So cute.
Okay, next up we are going to do a lantern topper.
We are. I don't remember if the bow is included or sold separately.
Let's see.
We have a bow here with us and some stem components to do a lantern topper. Okay, this is an easy design. Super, super easy. Let's lay all these pieces out. And we have a lantern over here I will be showing you as well.
But you can do this on any lantern you have at home.
All right.
And if you're like some of us, you really like lantern designs.
Well, the lantern, any combination of lantern pieces always goes over really well for the purpose of it's versatile shape, inexpensive item.
Okay, let's go through our Frozen Moments Lantern Topper Kit. This is basically a hanging swag, if you will, meant to go on the top of a lantern. It's on sale for only $28 today. We're going to use the Snowed Sitka Spruce Pine Spray, beautiful stem, soft juniper spray, really pretty, also realistic, the Glitter and Sequin Cedar Spray, kind of a opalescent white, very, very pretty. My favorite Noble Fir and Cone Spray. This is a very nice stem. It is so realistic, beautiful, drapes so nicely, little cones on it, very cute. A white cherry berry spray, and floral wire. Optional add-ons will include, you could either do a birch bow, a vine berry bow, or whatever bow floats your boat.
We'll show you a couple bows. I made some new ones. But the bow is
sold separately. In this case, you can either use it with or without a bow.
So today our lantern is a pretty good sized one. I think this would be good on a lantern that's maybe like at least 12 inches tall. We're using a large lantern today. This is the metal and wood lantern, the large size at $89.50. It is iron and wood. It's a heavy duty guy with a very rustic, distressed, and rusted finish. It's going to hang off of the top of that. We have pre-taped our wire, add a little tape over the top of it to keep things nice and neat as we wire it all together. And then our stack is all we have to do, create a little stack for you. One thing that will work nicely if you don't want to cut the stems, sometimes people have a hard time using their cutters to get some of these heavy gauge wire stems cut off. If you do, can you at least give them a little spin and get those wires out of the way by curling them up so we can hide them underneath some pine? That's a thought. We're going to take the sequin spray and stack everything on top of it. This will allow us to have kind of like a draping effect that's going to actually get a curve to it. We're going to think ahead about how this will drape on our lantern and build it accordingly. So we've got this tall piece, long piece already in place. Let's layer the draping Sitka spray on top of that. This is an easier stem to cut, so I can see my brown will be peeking out. Let's just give it a little bit a shorter look so we don't have to worry about hiding it, and get that one cut off. Here we're getting a nice start to our design. Then we're going to work in our juniper, which I also started curling the juniper here. The curled stem, if it shows on the end, I think it's not such a bad look to see it when it's curling off to the back side of the design here. We're layering it. It's kind of pre-curved. The juniper is also natural touch, so you can see how realistic it looks. It's got a nice airy look to it. I'm going to fan a couple of these wired tips away from the main stem to try to blend a little bit and get more combination effect here. There we go. Then we've got our Noble Pine spray, which is shorter, so we're going to cap the piece off with the Noble Pine at the top. I'm also pulling one of the stems backwards to help hide all the curls that we're doing, and in fact I can show you if we choose to trim any of these wired stems, the paper wrap will really easily start unraveling. So if you are going to use it, just make sure you dab a little dot of glue let that dry. I have pan glue off camera. We melt glue pellets in a pan and we use that to allow me to have hands-free glue, and you can see it's also a lower melting point so it won't burn you when you're touching that pan glue. And then the last thing in our layer is this cherry berry, which is a short little matte white berry. He needs to go pretty high up in the design, and we're going to give that a little bend on the stem as well. So we've got our stack coming together here, super easy. Still just holding it in my hands. I am bending the cherry berry stem and hiding all these things behind the noble pine, hopefully. A little piece going backwards helps to disguise your mechanics, right? And that is where we need to wire. Right up here where everything comes together, let's put a wire and get that to be secure. You can also then leave your wire long and use it to wire it onto your lantern, or you can make a hanger out of your wire. Either way it works. We're just getting the wire around all the stems at once and tightening it up with our pliers to ensure we've got it locked in nice and tight. So this is a super easy stem set, and you won't have any problem creating this stack, I'm sure of it. The white really stands out, doesn't it? So that means with that, we are going to pull the wire, one more little wire, one step lower. I am going to catch everything but the berry. I'm going to catch the background stems and let that berry hang free. I don't want to squish that down. And this second wire will just ensure that things don't twist apart. Locking them in two places with any swag is usually what I would do. Okay, second little piece of wire, secure in place. I'm going to cut that off, lose some of the length, and that will give me a nice look today. Let's hook it up here and see how we've come out. I can actually use one of my curled stems to just hook it through the ring. This is a handy lantern because there's a ring on the top. So everything drapes nicely off of that. So do we feel like it needs a bow? That's up to you. The bow is sold separately in case you don't think it needs a bow. But we could use the birch woods bow, which is pretty good sized. So if you ordered this one, you'd want a pretty substantial surface to be wiring this to. Here's how that would look. And then of course you'd pull your tails in the two different directions and work them into your design a little bit. That's your birch bow. And then the second choice would be the berry vine bow. That one is a little shorter and the loops are not quite as huge, so we could get that in place on maybe a slightly smaller lantern. And then of course you could use any kind of shoelace bow design out of the white sheer ribbon that we had just used earlier. That would be this one. You'd be purchasing bolts of ribbon and doing little shoelace bows. So that's another option also. There we have it, an easy lantern swag that could drape off of something else. You never know what you might be thinking of that could drape off of. Okay, moving right along. Kate's going to keep me on track today so we get all these pieces done for you.
Yeah, we have lots of good kits today, so we'll be rocking and rolling. The next one up, we're going to make a wreath is the next design.
We are. We're going to fabricate a wreath out of a pair of garlands. So this will be new for you. Something different. We used this Artemisia garland once before today in another kit. We have not used this icy magnolia yet, though.
There we go. Okay.
There we've got it photographed, so you can see our components laid out here. This is a fun, chunky, icy magnolia leaf. This has really been great to work with. I've been using it mixed in with our cedar in garlands like this. It looks especially gorgeous when you blend it with, I don't know if I can hold this so you can see it. It looks especially gorgeous when you lay this icy piece into the Hemingway garland, which is a huge, is a 72-inch garland or longer? Oh, gosh, but it's very, very wide, so you can see how pretty that is if you lay the cedar or the magnolia into this Hemingway. It looks really pretty. And then we also found it looks gorgeous in the new flocked cedar garland.
Frosted.
The frosted cedar?
Yep.
Okay. mixing those two together, also very pretty. All of those just upgraded today to the 25% off sale.
Okay, we ready?
We are.
Next one up, this is the Ray of Sparkle Wreath Kit. This one's on sale for $53, a really good price point. We are gonna make a wreath, you guys, using a snow magnolia leaf garland, a white sequin artemisia garland, 2 frosted magnolia sprays, absolutely gorgeous, and some floral wire.
We are.
Optional add-on, we're going to show the Santa Express velvet ribbon bolt. We're using 2 yards of that bolt. It is sold separately, so if you want to do your own ribbon at home or something different or color, it is separate from the kit. The kit together is the Ray of Sparkle Wreath Kit.
So I do have white floral wire. This is a pretty light colored wreath. I'm going to use white today. Get a couple of our floral wires covered up in white tape. You can go without tape on your wire. No big deal. It's just a little professional trick that I've gotten used to. That gives me a nice tidy finish. So those 2 are taped and ready to go. Now let's form the wreath because we're going to need that wire right away. Once we get our wreath in place, we're going to need to connect that. And I found that the length of this garland lends itself perfectly to making a 24-inch wreath. I mean, it can't get any easier than that. The gauge of the wire that it's formed of is quite heavy, so it forms a sturdy shape. It holds its shape well, it doesn't collapse. It also has these 2 loops on the end, so if you were using this somewhere where you were connecting it over a mirror or draping it on your railing, these 2 loops would come in handy, but I can sort of connect those through each other to lock my wreath together. And then before I put the wire to secure those, I'm going to lay the artemisia in here and add 1 wire to cover that whole works together. So the trick that I found with this piece is that it will look and go in the most easily if we keep our connections all on the same spot. So here's our connection at the top. We're going to add this one to our connection also. I'm slipping the rings together. And then just let this thing pop into the center, and the weight of the wire, it wants to expand out anyway, so just let it roll through the center there. And once we get it in place and wired, we can fan it through. So they just are stacking up here. Works pretty well. Now as I'm wiring this, I am conscious of the fact that I want to have 2 hangers or 2 pieces of wire coming through to form a single hanger. So I will show you on the back how I'm accomplishing that. I'm grabbing all of these loops and ends 1 time here, and then a 2nd time over here. You want to make sure you don't leave anything out of it. Get those caught in 2 spots. And I think I could probably stack my flowers in and then put the wire on, but just to make it a little easier on you, I'm going to say wire this together first. So then my wires come back to the back like so, here and here. We've only secured in 1 spot, but everything is locked into place. And these 2 will cross and make a bar hanger. That'll be just the right size to nail. Obviously it can go over a nail, but if it needs to go on a door wreath hanger that hooks over the door, it's wide enough to do so. So that's why I make these bar hangers, because they're more versatile to go over anything, especially when we are sending them out. We don't know what the use will be. Okay, so that forms my wreath shape. The artemisia will work through there nicely by popping these little stems out and around the magnolia leaves. So you just sort of have to lift and arrange them. And when you do that, it's locking it together anyway. Everything is wired. And we also will be securing this down here in the lower region with the placement of our flower stems that still have to go in. So we can add another wire to secure it better. The leaves themselves have a little bit of wire in the leaves. Can you see how we can lift and give them some bends to take away the flatness? There we go. Just have to, a lot of what we do is
Let me
about
guess,
shaping.
you just have to shape.
Just have to
Especially when you're creating a circular, dimensional, beautiful piece out of a flat garland. But I mean, the possibilities are endless. If you get tired of a garland at the end of the year and you don't want to put it on your kitchen table anymore, hey, let's turn it into a wreath for the front door and it can get hit outside, and who cares?
Let's bend it around. So then I'm going to lay 2 stems, one going left, one going right. I did sort of curve the stem, and I also cut the stem off, but it's plastic, so you don't have to worry about dipping or taping or anything there. You just have to get them in place, and that's going to take a little bit of wire. So there's more than one way you could arrange your flowers. I decided to let them both sweep downwards, and then I'm going to put my bow up here where my hand is. You could probably also spiral them in the same direction and let the flowers all go this way. You could even pick up a 3rd stem, and if you had a 3rd stem, you can see that would close the gap here and make a ribbonless, evenly balanced wreath by adding a 3rd magnolia stem. These are going to be linked in the kit individually. Any component in any kit, you can click on it and take you to that specific product.
Mary said, why do you have to create so many things I want?
I always tell people I try not to do ugly things. That's my goal. No ugly things. So I just have to add a little bit more wire to secure my flower stems in place, which I can do with my cut off pieces of taped white wire. I'm sure your local hobby store has all the colors of tape, but weirdly, it has been a strange shortage for like 4 years. Wire has not always been readily, or tape has not always been readily available, which is why I don't sell it. Our wholesalers have a hard time keeping it around. Don't know why there's a tape shortage. Okay, I would probably add a couple more wires down lower in this wreath, just maybe here and here. The flowers aren't going to fall out. It just depends on how you're handling it. So I'll stop with my 2 extra wires in place, even though I'd probably put a little bit more on here. We're going to keep going today and add this bow. So now you have a look at the flower placement, the artemisia placement. Here's the back. It's just layered together. More wire could be added to lock it into place a little bit better. We can grab the bottom. I have this piece. I probably better put it on right now or I'll never find the piece of wire again. So that would give me probably a total of 5 locations that I've wired at this point. 2 where the hanger is, an extra one here on the bottom, and 1 on each flower stem. It depends what your wreath is going to go through.
Mary said, I'm going to have to tell my kids I couldn't buy Christmas presents, but the house looks great.
That's right. That's right. Now you can see how that flower just flipped.
You're
it does
making
need more.
the holiday season magical.
Magical holidays is what you're
Not
after.
everyone can do that. That is a real effort to make the season magical.
So we've got roughly 2 yards of gray ribbon again, and just for the sake of speed, add more wire at home if your wreath is not staying together. This is a shoelace bow out of a gorgeous one velvet side. It's a poly velvet, and it's nice weight of wire. So you've seen how popular velvet is in social media. It is in. Doesn't take much to make a good looking bow when you have good body on this velvet. It is wired, whereas some of the things online people show unwired is meant to just hang there. This one's going to have a little bit more body. So let's get that pulled through into a regular old shoelace bow. Nothing hard, right guys? Then your ends will curl beautifully because of the weight of wire in the velvet here. So let's just go with that. And it makes a beautiful, simple, flat wreath. This is just like perfect for your door at your New Year's party event. Just classy enough for a winter look. There we go. What do we think of that?
I love that ribbon.
So simple.
And the ribbon is, again, sold separately, but linked in the kit's description All the items used are linked in the description. Just go to our website, shopmagnoliasonline.com, and search Ray of Sparkle.
There you have it.
And you'll find it.
So that one is done and completed, ready to go in a new frosty white look. Let me hand that over.
Set up for your next design already.
She's going to keep moving right along.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep her on track because we have, it's 3:45, so we still have a lot to do, but that's okay.
Okay, we're moving.
We're going to get there.
We'll just keep removing glitter as we go.
Okay, this next one is a drop-in kit that we're going to do. Very good price point on it. Vase sold separately, however, I highly encourage the chosen vase. I'll say that. Highly, highly encourage. Got it. Okay. And this is an Amaryllis drop-in today. Very
fun?
Classy. This one feels classy. So this is the Frosty Amaryllis drop-in. This stunning piece is on sale for $31. Kit, I should say. This kit is on sale for $31. It includes 2 of the beautiful white frosted mini Amaryllis, snow dusted and pretty, a snowed mixed pine spray with cone, good mixed stem there, the mixed winter spruce pick, an iced leaf bundle, a snowed white wax flower spray, that's been a favorite this year,
There we go.
and floral wire.
Okay, well we can have our wire all ready to go.
And the vase we're using today is the Magnolias glass vase. Beautiful crystal looking vase, modern but classic. And that vase is sold separately if you would like it. It is on sale today for only $16. Regular price is $19. So either way, it's a really good deal.
$16 vase. That's outstanding. And it does have a crystal effect to it. It's pressed glass. And it's a little bit asymmetrical. Isn't that pretty? Very modern, a great gift. Great gift. This whole look would be like great for a winter wedding design, I think. Let's start with our chunky mixed snow stem. I use this one a lot because I do just love the combo of stem pieces on this. If I give it some shape, it will help it kind of go in the round. Is what we're after, giving it an all-around look. Also, it is this length. I haven't cut it. It fits fine, just right, in fact. And the pine cone is balancing on the rim of the vase, which will actually help everything from flopping around. Then we're going to put the mixed pine spray in next. Also a little shorty stem. Single pine cone featured there. Let's go back to back with those stems. Keep the pine cones on the outside.
They're singing your praises.
You liking this look? I'll let Kate watch the comments. I'll just keep making arrangements for you all.
They are just saying how beautiful it is. And these are meant to be easy for you guys. So we will save the hard stuff for the pro designers and give you something beautiful but simple to put together on your own.
There we go. So we're going to let that white wax flower sprout up a little bit there. In fact, I think that I'm going to chop it short by about another 1.5 inches off of it. So one cut will help me get that nestled down a little bit lower. There we are. You can see the look. And then this spray can be separated into 3 pieces. Just get the little cord off of it. And the wax flower, or I'm sorry, the Amaryllis is going in at its normal stem length. In fact, it drops down kind of low and they become the same height if you put one on each side. If you wanted 3, by the way, you could get a 3rd one, but if we stagger them, to me 2 was fine for the proportion of this vase. So in order to stagger it, we will have to wire it lifted. So make note of that. It doesn't touch the bottom. You have to lift it to get it to stay in place. And then these 3 pieces, just put them wherever they need to be. You need to have a little filler. It's a lightly icy, frosty, delicate leaf. It's very pretty filler. It softens the look up nicely. There, we've got 3, so that'll balance well. And then at the last minute, we'll grab that and wire it in place by lifting the whole look up here. Keep him in place, keep him in place, and then our wire will not go at the rim, but just below the rim of the vase. And is there any scraps of bendy vine anywhere? 1 piece is all I need.
No, but we know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, because I would want to put some bendy vine around this stem.
There isn't a day where you wouldn't put that.
Especially in clear glass, yes. especially in clear glass. So the Bendy Vine product is the wrapped twig product that you can buy in a multi-strand bundle, and then you could use a couple pieces wrapped around over our tape to hide our tape.
I agree, Kim. She said all these designs are great up until the end of March. Absolutely.
That's right, depending
until
where you
you're
live.
ready to put out tulips.
Here in Nebraska, when it's frosty and blowing and blizzarding, it is strange to get your spring flowers out too early. So we use these looks as our transitional looks, and maybe you
It's
do
funny,
too.
I don't really have everyday designs in my house. I am a seasonal girl. I am switching out stuff every season. So if I have a vase that I'm switching out the designs in, there's rarely a time that I'd have
It's
an
just
everyday
a
thing in
seasonal
there.
look. Wow, and that pretty much does the
That's
whole thing
easy.
right there. Super easy. I think
that literally took you less than 5 minutes.
the only trick is to stagger your Amaryllis to get that effect, and it doesn't want to do that. You have to do that too. So this is an easy one, guys, and that Amaryllis is the star of the show. Incidentally, we may still have the red Amaryllis in the online store. The same exact flower in red was absolutely stunning also, but more seasonal looking. But you could certainly swap out the red ones and do a Valentine's Day design. I think that would work.
Could.
Also, frosty, icy Valentine's Day design.
No kidding. Or add little hearts, a heart pick
Sure.
in that would be just cute.
You could. So that piece is completed, done, and super easy. Thanks,
Okay.
Kate. Let's get that one up here.
Next up, we're going to do a porch pot design. It's going to be kind of frosty with greens, nice contrast, very wintry piece.
Exactly.
So this is the Frosty and Fine Porch Pot Kit. And I'm going to get a photo here when you get it all laid out.
Okay. There you are.
Ready, cheese, okay.
These pictures are all going to help you find and identify the products and the kits.
I want to show them the photo of you with your eyes closed because there's so many.
I have a special talent of closing
a
my eyes
special
when she
talent.
takes my picture.
Every time.
Okay, you're going through
Okay.
the rundown?
Yes, let's do the rundown. So obviously you get the pot and a block of foam. So you get a square planter, 7-inch square, a brick of foam. Then you get a Himalayan pine spray. That's going to be your base piece there. Classic stem. A snowy long needle pine spray.
Here he is.
Frosted mixed greens bush.
That would be this one.
Okay. 2 frosted Christmas roses.
And that would
Beautiful
be these
stem.
guys.
3 of the mixed Himalayan pine sprays in the small size. A brown glittered twig spray. A snowed white wax flower. And 2 pine juniper mixed stems.
There we are.
Gorgeous.
So before we start, we have to get our foam placed in our container, and I did show you this earlier today, but your foam block can be utilized as a single piece. If you mark it just below the rim of your pot, give it a quick cut, and the original end will be glued into your planter. The scrap is going to create a wedge. So what you'll do is split this into 2 wedges by cutting your remaining piece diagonally, and your diagonal wedges will fit just right in the planter if you put them on the edges of your other chunk of foam. Just wedge them in there with some glue, glue that whole business together, square, and you'll have a balanced, filled out planter that has space for gravel if you need to weight it. We use pea gravel all the time. So that's our recommendation, to add weight, or you can use this 7 by 7 inch planter as a liner pot and put it into something else that is larger. So there's another option for you too. So let's get started working on, let's see, the biggest pieces first. These big chunky guys, we need to get them in place. I'm going to use some pan glue as I go along. You would not have to. The glue would be optional depending on what's happening at your house. Here, we're going to be potentially shipping this thing. So we always want to make sure they're nice and sturdy, ready for shipment, and they're going to survive the trip for you and survive a few years of use outside. So this is outdoor safe components. No problems at all. Using these in the elements, they can get snowed or rained on. And you're not going to ruin the pines or any of these products in it. It's just eventually going to get dirty or get weathered, you know, or you'll get tired of it. So we've got 2 pine sprays, and those pine cones are going to do whatever they want to down there. I think that they have a mind of their own. That's what we know about pine cones. They're going to come like they come. Let's put in this tall twig next. I don't want to forget to get this in place because that's a pretty good sized stem. It needs to have some height and some placement. There we go. It's bendable. I like your sign language. Kate's giving me the signs.
Trying to tell you we're good on time.
We're managing to get it all done.
We have come up with our own sign language during Facebook Lives. Like, hurry up, you're almost out of time, or we're good. Joyce said, I always need help with my porch pot decorations. She likes to cut branches from her pine trees.
Oh, yes.
And yes, you can use dirt that was in your pot for flowering season. So if you didn't want this design in a pot, you can actually purchase all of these components separately on our website and recreate the same thing at home, just not in a foam container. You can put them right in the dirt. That's not a big deal.
We do that here at our store in our planters. The planters outside the building have dirt in them, and we just layer it. We put the last year's stems on the bottom and layer the new stuff over the top. I just lifted these cones and sort of spread this plastic bush out to get a little more real estate covered. It bends, and it is just a plastic looking pine that has a nice frosty effect. So I use the pine cones to hold it down. It's just tucked under the pine cones. Then we have a Frosty white pick that's going to add some good filler in the top. So let's get it front and center, straight down in front of the twig stem. It'll sprout up for some extra height there for us. And we also will add, let's see, the wax flower. We've got a single stem, so that needs to go up the center. And I'm going to put this back here so I don't break something. There we go, and this is a background piece. So extra large pine spray will give us the fullness we need in the back. And you're probably going to have to cut a little length off of that. So that's going at the very background here. And that gives us a nice full effect from the side view. You can see how full that made it. The wax flower goes straight down the middle. We're going to leave the height on this wax flower. Let's let it stand way up there, I think. Oops, but I didn't move fast enough with the glue, so now I got to cut it. Okay, the glue dried. There we go. So that is all still stacking. We're getting some good depth to this planter. What you don't want to do is start designing in the middle and then work forward. It'll be front heavy. You always kind of want your tall things to be towards the back of the foam in the planter to allow you to have this nice dimension, and it won't flop over forwards on you. There's our wax flower up high. Now our 2 white wild roses, which are icy and frosty, can go left and right of the center. I did cut them down a little bit. And you're going to want to insert these pretty low so that the flowers just start sprouting out of the greenery. You don't want them up there too leggy. They look better if they're lower in the design, I think. Kind of like that.
Ruth said this should be my new step sitter. Do you think it's too big for my steps?
It is not too big for your steps. It's just too big for to be a liner.
Yeah.
And your planter would need to have a smaller liner pot.
I need to find
In fact,
more.
if you do have outdoor, heavy-duty, traditional garden pottery, you can go to the inexpensive discount stores and find plastic liners that work perfectly, and get a couple so that you can make a winter, a spring, so forth, and just have your own liner pots ready to go.
I wish I would have done that at the end of the season.
multiples.
'Cause mine are unusually small.
When
'Cause
you
they're
find a
step
pot
sitters.
that fits, buy more than one.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can make a series of them, and there I just sort of fanned the white
I love
roses
that I can
out.
just pull that whole thing out of my glazed pottery, pull the whole design
Switch it out.
Switch it out, bag it up.
So then these little guys, there's some holes down here. We're just going to put the small pieces in the front wherever we have a gap. And notice I didn't use any moss. Moss is an option. We do sell bags of Spanish moss, which is called natural moss or green moss. They're $8.50 a bag. And those are going to do maybe 2 planters of this type. If you choose to use it, and it sometimes just gets damp and wet and soggy, so that's why I don't often use it outdoors. But you can, if yours needs to be a look that you're keeping inside, maybe that's what you need, is more of the foam hidden with some nice moss. Okay, we've got an extra piece over here. You just need to find the hole that it needs to go in. Here we are, and there we have our kit, completely designed. Easy as that, guys. You can do this too at home and create something this easy, which is a great Christmas gift. Also, it seems like every year at the last minute, people come in and buy planters like this for gifts for mom and dad that are elderly, whether they're in assisted living and they have a little spot outside their front door, or they're at home but they're not going to be caring for their things outside and doing that work outdoors that we might do at our age. But you can give this as a gift and they can leave it out for the winter months.
That is gorgeous.
It's
gorgeous.
Frosty, that's why you like it.
Yeah, well, I did lay it out, so.
If you felt like it needed a bow, you could pop in the birch bow again, and that's sold
Cute.
separately. It's under $10, but that would be a nice finishing touch for it too. If you grab that bow, it's inexpensive.
If you put it in a taller planter as well, you could put a Sitka, the draping Sitka spruce. If you had a little height to drape out of there, I always like doing that.
Draping is good.
Draping is good.
All right, what's up next today?
We're going to do a gorgeous centerpiece, and everyone is going to be just placing multiple orders. They're going to be cursing my name.
Because there's more stuff.
There's more good
stuff.
This next one is really gorgeous, and you guys are going to go crazy for this, I think. So this is based on a swag that Kelsey and I had put together.
Oh.
And this is the friend to that now sold out design. And this next piece, let me pull open my name and everything here.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, I don't even know what this is called.
Well, it just was made. It's the Shining Star Centerpiece Kit is what it's called.
Okay.
And let's snap a photo if you would. Now, this design is a centerpiece. You get the container, foam, and all these beautiful designs. Stems, I should say. And I see lots of you placing multiple orders today. Thank you for your orders.
Yes,
a lot of
thanks,
first-time
everybody.
customers this week, which is so exciting. So thank you for shopping with us. It is always a treat to get to see our boxes go to new places.
All over the country.
All over the place, and they will be packing and shipping on Monday. Keeping busy.
Also, thank you for placing an order this weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Part of our proceeds will be donating to our friends down the street at Cornhusker Auto, who do a toy drive every year, and they donate their toys to different causes and make sure that kids in town here, all the money stays in town, that they have an amazing Christmas. This year they are sponsoring toys for the local Bright Horizons organization that will have 18 families that will be receiving toys for their kids. They're in domestic abuse situations, and they're going to have a more amazing Christmas because Mike and his team are going to put together gifts that we will help them buy.
They do a great job.
Thank you for helping us help them.
Okay. So this is the Shining Star Centerpiece. This design is on sale for only $76 this weekend, you guys.
Oh, good. It's a big one.
It's a big one. This is going to include a block of foam, a bag of our natural Spanish moss.
Oh, that comes with it?
It does.
We didn't photograph that. We probably should have.
That's okay. It's that. The silver rectangle shatterproof planter. The Serenity leaf spray. I think that's that leafy bendy one. Yep. 2 frosted Christmas rose sprays. A frosted mixed greens bush. 2 snowed mixed pine sprays with cone.
Okay, these
Those
two
guys. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 snowy long needle pine sprays.
Got it. Okay, so what I found out when I started this design is that the styrofoam block does not need to be cut. It probably doesn't even need to be glued, but it'll fit right into this planter. It slides right in perfectly. I think they made it for that. I'm going to glue it in. My design will be glued because each demonstration object creation that we make here will be sold. If you're interested in buying a pre-designed one, you have to just contact Connie at the store, and she has a list of who is asking for them. So we're going to use some moss on the top of this and disguise our foam a little bit here. And a little bit more moss. You might need half a bag of the moss, depending. Put it on loosely. Don't get it too tight because you got to get your stems through it. And these are the pieces we're going to put in first. A left and a right one. I'm going to take a little length off of the stems here. And they are going to go in like that and like this. They're sliding in at an angle. We're going to make sure this creates a nice base. Oh yeah, you got to get it into that, in between that moss. And we're not going to squish them in. We're going to keep our width of our centerpiece this way by allowing them to hang out of the pot quite a ways. But they are going in one left, one right. The cones help fill in space. This thick, bulky pine helps fill in space. And then you can see they bend down or they lift up depending how you shape them. Whoops, or how you pull them apart accidentally. So let's glue him back in. That is a good look for starters right there. You get your outline of the length. We'll be shaping as we go, so there's a starting shaping. Then we are going to make sure we get this bush cut apart. It has 6 stem pieces once you cut it apart. That's going to be our filler. So this goes, I might have dropped one, there we go. They're just cut right off the base, easy to do. 3, 4, 5, 6, good, they're all there. And you've also got these 2 pieces for height, which are fun to put in.
I'm
that
obsessed
gives
with
you
those. We
outline.
have to get them again next year.
We do.
They're so easy to make an arrangement look fuller, bigger, and airy.
We need hundreds of these.
We need hundreds of those, yeah.
I'm trying to not push my
I've been a
moss
bit
in.
of a long needle fanatic this year.
Long needle
used them
stuff.
in everything.
It does look good. Like if a design needs some airiness and it's looking too compact, this is always the answer. Something that looks like this. Okay, so these just need to maybe be cut shorter to get them in the foam easier. That might be my recommendation now that I'm pushing them down. Get them cut and they'll not fight with you like that. But they're in now, and they have glue on them, so we're not going to take them out. They also spin. Now, if you spin them, you're actually twisting the top half of the stem. They kind of have a flatness to them, but if you spiral the top of the stem, you'll get a more rounded appearance. Did you see how that was working? They puffed right up instead of looking flat. Our next stem that we want to wrestle in there, you could cut this apart, but part of the beauty of it is its bendy vine stem. This is sort of a platinum color, I would say, icy taupey platinum. And the stem is going to be a little abstract depending what you do with it. You could cut it up, but I like the stem and I like to see it woven through here. So we want to get the stem secured and then let this stuff weave around and through. So here's our stem end. I can see I could wiggle this down in here with some glue here. And I've kind of shaped it so it's going to fill and be present on all sides of this design, but I better secure it in one spot at least. And that way I get to see the stem winding around and through. So this is the part that's going to come out differently at your house. Don't worry about how your stem was bent. Yours might look different. Just worry about pulling some of the leaves one direction and some of the leaves the other direction. Whatever configuration your vine ends up being to get there will make it unique. Oh, thanks. My mom's got a nice comment for me today.
And me.
Yes, and you.
I have had a spurt of design inspiration lately, so I did lay out a lot of these.
She has, and Kelsey...
I can get the idea, but I can't make the actual thing as well.
Well, you probably could make the thing, you just don't stop to do it.
No. That's your thing.
But she's been laying them out for both me and Kelsey, our newest designer that you really have not met yet, and she is doing a beautiful job of getting all these winter items in the online store. By the way, everything winter that was at 15% off that is a completed design is on sale now at 25%, including all of Kelsey's brand new porch pots, Linda's brand new drop-ins. These pieces are gorgeous for gifts. A lot of gifts that you will know when they open them at Christmas, they'll still have lots of time left to display them. So check it out, or buy something for yourself. So you can see I have just manipulated my branch into some kind of configuration that gives me somewhat of a balance of leaves on all sides. It's very bendy. You can shape it and pull it through, and that makes this unique organic look to this arrangement here. Any holes that are left are going to get filled in with these pieces. So first we'll put in our wild roses. Those just need to go into the foam all the way up to the bottom set of leaves. You want to make sure you cut them off so that these little guys are sinking in there. That will give the best result and not have them look too leggy. Get those seated pretty low in the planter and then pull them through and let them fan out. There we go. So just one sprouting each direction will do the job. And that's the second design with these wild roses. They're going to go quick. Hopefully there's enough for everybody. But that is something I do like to bring back every year. It seems to be like the ultimate mini white flower stem. We'll see if they have it next year. Who knows? Okay, there we are. Now we're on to the green items to put that in next. And the green pieces are going to go where the holes are. You've got filler for 6 little spots. These, of course, you're going to want to sink them all the way up to the bottom frond. The first little pine spray, you want to sink it down to that point to help the design look full. You got to get them in there deep enough that you're not seeing all the stem ends. So get it down on the foam. That's probably one of the #1 problems with people when they're new with me is having stem ends or stem bases show creating a very leggy design. You just got to sink things in deeper to help it look fuller. And some of these are a little shorter than others, so you can pick through your cuttings and find the right piece for the spot. They are also bendable. There's a little wire in them. Let's put one over here. This really does not have too many holes right now. The pine cones help hide the foam. There we go. And our assorted pine sprays that we stuck in there in the beginning also look fantastic. Do a good job filling. There we are, one last pine spray and we can call it good. Did we add ribbon as an optional item? I forget what you said about ribbon in here.
We did, yes. So
okay.
Ribbon is shown as an optional add-on, the Santa Express velvet ribbon again.
Right.
So that is, this is just gorgeous.
As we have completed it, it's pretty organic and natural. And it may not need anything to your eye. You could add some things in here, like one item that would be really fun would be to get a box of birds, whether it is this. I know we didn't suggest birds, but I'm pointing out that we have 2 kinds of white birds, little baby guys and bigger guys. Here they are side by side. The use of this organic looking branch gives plenty of perches to place birds, just like that. So you could sprinkle tiny little baby birds throughout the design and put like 5 or 6 in here on all the little extra branches if you wanted to. Everybody likes birds, so that's a theory. and you'd be able to get them scattered about. You could also tie this into one of the other designs we did today by adding some of this ribbon. So the Santa ribbon, here's two little birds over, whoops, he's falling over. Santa ribbon would be my choice if you added some ribbon loops, and what I did was just made 2 loops and 2 tails and put it on a wire pick. Oh, a single loop. Where's my other one? Did I drop it?
No, I think you just had one. Did
There
you
it
have
is. This one has a double loop, this one has a single loop. There we go. This is the same ribbon we just used earlier to tie on this wreath, and if you wanted to add a touch of ribbon and spiral the ends and let that look a little bit more elegant, especially since the container is silver, look what that does. How do you feel about that? So the tails just pop right through there.
Wow, that is beautiful. So I'm sorry to give you so many incredible options today, ladies. This is beautiful. And this whole day was about winter designs that you can use after Christmas.
Did we do everything?
We have a baby one, but I thought I would end on a high note here. That is just gorgeous.
We did it all.
So this sale is running Saturday and Sunday. It is including our vases and planters. So that container, if you're inspired by just that container, you can find it in the online store at 15% off. Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th only. And that is a beautiful piece. And our winter pine is all 25% off.
We have just enough time to show you some of our amazing candle rings.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
the greens behind me, we did talk about, I believe, most everything behind me. There's a couple small pieces I could quickly point out. If you are in the mood for adding some greens to any surface in your house.
Taking advantage of the sale this weekend. That's what
right.
we're all about.
A couple of things we did not lay eyes on that fall under that category. This amazing white piece that we used at my house on my mantle. Do you not love this gorgeous Natural Touch white flocked pine? The sprays are available, and this 4-foot garland is available. It's an outstanding look if you're doing just a classic red and white look that I did with holly. So that's a touch of something unusual. We also have only a couple, like super low quantities on this blue collection. So this is the coniferous collection. And those of you who saw the blue in earlier segments today saw me use the spray, the single pick. So not only do we have a pick, we have this really chubby mini wreath or candle ring that is ice encrusted and berry encrusted, so you can pop that open and use that as a small wreath or a candle ring. And then this is the chubby garland. This is just a very thick looking product. This garland looks gorgeous with our Borealis orb lights in it. We've been showing it at the store, and everybody is loving the look of working those lights into this garland, which I believe is 5 foot long, and there's literally only a handful of them between the store and the warehouse.
That was a restock. We actually sold out much earlier in the season, but we were able to get a little bit more back in.
We bought what they had, and these two pieces along with the spray are definitely a hot seller this year. Don't forget about our Norfolk Pine, which is all but gone. We have 2 Norfolk Pine stem styles in very limited quantity, one with cones, one without. And I noticed in our warehouse we have 4 remaining of these 4-foot dripping garlands. And when I say dripping garlands, this is what we mean. These today have now turned onto 25% off, and that is a huge chunk of gorgeous draping Norfolk pine with these little hangers on the ends and a natural touch look to it that can be centered and layered on your fireplace. We don't have the other Norfolk pine garlands available any longer, but this one in 4 pieces remains, and its coordinating wreath. We have 4 of the wreaths as well, built on a grapevine. This is a beautiful, very full 26-inch, 24 to 26-inch wreath that is Natural Touch. So just upgraded the sale on all these products, guys. This is now the 25% discount, and the fullness and the beauty of this Norfolk pine is the reason it is basically gone. So that's the higher end natural touch products. I showed you the cedar at the beginning of the segment. And if you want some other fun ones that are a little bit more of a basic base, you're going to find our basic Himalayan pine in multiple sizes, also at a great low price. These are our 20-inch, our 24, we also have 30s, and if you're local, you can pick up to 4-foot wreaths of the Himalayan pine for low prices, and you'll find some specialty pieces online as well that are mixed. This is a limited quantity item that was regularly $89.50, now 25% off. So that is a stack of amazing wreaths. Now I found something that I have never shown you before. This is the first time I'm going to show it. Can you help me hold this, Kate?
Go ahead.
Can you help me hold this item? Okay. This we have never shown before in a live.
Oh, this is the thing we've been looking for.
We were looking for it. We knew we had it. We just could not locate it. This is the teardrop, the teardrop ice piece, teardrop icicle piece, perhaps. This is meant to. There you go. You can see these draping pieces. Once you shape it, you're going to have alternating short and long teardrops coming off of a garland that plugs in with lights. The lights are on your end, unfortunately. The plug-in is. We don't have an extension cord. But this piece is meant to go over a window, perhaps, and it lights up.
It's huge.
It's huge. Yep, it's completely pre-lit. So you have to check out the picture of that online.
That's Belgium is the keyword there.
Belgium, search by Belgium. I believe it's 6 feet long. We have a few of these items, and I've actually never shown these before. We just didn't know where they were
in the online
warehouse
store to find that piece.
Yes, I found them earlier yesterday, and I was relieved because I didn't know where they went. So if you're out and about in your home and you're seeing little gaps in spaces, here's a great lineup of the candle rings, also 25% off. All of these pieces are hard to tell different sizes, I'm sure, when you're looking at images singly online. So we'll lay them out here so you get a nice look. Different basic green candle rings, like this one that Kate used on her cabinet doors. Different mini candle rings that our customers are telling us look amazing on their chandeliers, around individual bulbs on chandeliers. Medium-sized candle rings that have a little bit of character to them, whether they are the Glendale or the Glenvale. This piece with a little plastic and tiny glitter.
Greenland Vale.
Greenland Vale.
Not Glendale.
The Glendale, Glenvale.
Greenland Vale. What's that one, Mom?
Touch of Splendor.
No. Splash of Splendor. SOS.
I'm just going to get it wrong on purpose to irritate her. Splash of Splendor. This matches the wreath behind me. And it's the small candle ring to coordinate with it. And we do love it with our bead garland wreaths, which if you've seen these before, these have been at 25% off, but they're great for layering. And I can't even get it out of this package. This item. So there we have a great lineup of beautiful little candle rings and much larger candle rings as well for layering, accenting, and placing in all those little nooks and crannies that just need a little something. We have a style for everyone. The bad news is we have handfuls of these in every style. We're getting pretty limited.
Just a few of everything.
In quantities, guys, but you'll be able to grab these up today through the weekend. The sale at 25% off on the 7th and the 8th. Take advantage of that. And if you have chosen some fun DIY kits, I am so grateful that you joined me today and had a fun time learning how to create them. So if you're back to watch those, Kate will be time stamping every design so that you can find it in the online store and follow that link over to the videos on YouTube and on Facebook. Yes, Kate and I are going to have a relaxing evening now, and our
With any
team
luck.
at the store is getting ready to close up as well. They're going to be calling it a day. We're open on Sundays, 12 to 4 Central Time. So if you have questions and need to call or are local and you want to stop in and have a nice relaxing shopping afternoon, Sundays are perfect for that. So thanks everybody for hanging out today. Kate was an excellent tour guide for you with all of the things you needed to know. And thanks to Kayla earlier in the day for helping out. Thanks to the team for holding down the fort at the store while we are over here at the warehouse. Thanks everybody. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Bye-bye.